in what had to be the upset of the night so far. CM Punk loses his first singles match in WWE televised in over 11 years, almost nearly 11 years, losing to Drew McIntyre. Punk losing wasn't on the cards, and major upset. You just come right out of the chute. We'll go with that. And, surprised. I'm not going to really get to say that it was I expected Drew to win. I really thought we were going to get Seth hitting Drew and Punk gets the pin. And the storytelling of this match was fantastic. And just start with the horrible referee outfit. It looked like my 5-year-old niece bedazzled Seth Rollins. Just said, hey, give me a pair of pants, give me a bedazzler, and let's go have some fun. That's exactly what I saw here. That was rough. That outfit was terrible. I'm a fashion guy. I like wearing nice clothes. It was a little too gimmicky, where you could make the case some people, for some in the crowd, some people, not for me, but they were probably out of the 55,000 plus that are there. Some of them probably were paying attention too much to the sparkles, the outlandish outfit of the referee instead of focusing on the action in the ring. But this was a good match. You felt the intensity, like from the outset, the seriousness when Drew walks out and Punk coming out to an enormous reaction, which really wasn't a surprise. And you could feel like it was a big match. Like the match hadn't even started, the crowd was already bubbling, they were rumbling, but there was some concern. And I seen this on Twitter. It was less than 5 minutes in. I would say 3-4 minutes in, Punk looked gassed. And you could tell he hadn't been in the ring for a while. You could do all the training matches at gyms and the performance center, but when you've only you look at this match, it's only his 4th match in 1 year. I'm not going to count if you want to count the Royal Rumble, sure. But you're going to go with the match with Samoa Joe. Actually, no more than that. I would say around maybe 5 or 6. Because you had some of the collision matches, then you had the All-In match, which was his last match in AEW with Samoa Joe, and then the couple singles matches with Dominic, and then the Rumble, and then here. So we'll go 6, 7. We'll be conservative. But it's only his 3rd match being back in WWE. And his first televised singles match, a lot of emotion. It seemed like he blew his load pretty quickly. But the pro Drew is. And Punk picked it back up. But it took Punk it took him a good, almost near the 15-minute mark to finally get going. But the story was well done with the bracelet of his wife, AJ Lee, and his dog, Larry. The bracelet being the hook. And becoming enraged when he had McIntyre in the Anaconda Vice, and he just freaked out and just, instead of the submission, went for the bracelet. Then Rollins with the bracelet, he gets McIntyre a couple moments later, gets McIntyre into GTS attempt and just lost his shit again. And him and Seth get into it. Rollins called him an asshole. Then we get a GTS on the Rollins. Rollins rolls to the corner. Punk goes back to McIntyre, gets the bracelet, puts it on, goes to McIntyre. A low blow, the Claymore, a reluctant Seth Rollins for the 1, 2, 3, and wasn't thinking that. I really thought we were going to see something completely different in terms of who's going to win. But what WWE has been doing so well and what could happen is now what's next. That's going to be the key here. How does the story progress? Because I didn't see this coming. The bracelet's been a big part of the story. The crowd has been invested. The promos have been great. But now it seems like the shit focuses to Punk and Seth. And it kind of like, okay, what do you do with Drew? What's McIntyre's role here? Does it get to Hell in a Cell? Do you get to that point? Because you got the Berlin show at the end of the month. Maybe you do that. Maybe you go a different way. Maybe Drew faces the winner of the main event. Or even of the match going, I think, about to start between Damian Priest and Gunther. Maybe they go that route. There's a litany of options you can go here. But I hope they stick with Drew and Punk for at least one more. Because I think once Punk got going, he got his win back, he got that kicked into second gear, the match got really good. I felt like they only were at like a 3, but I think they can. The storyline was a 5. The action was about a 3, so I'd give it about a 4. But to me, that's going to be, is the key. Where do you go? How does the story progress? Because now, do you go, or you do a 3-way? I wasn't expecting a job the first time out. Pleasantly surprised. I downright admit it. It wasn't in my cup of tea. Wasn't not my cup of tea, but it wasn't in my peripheral. But I want to know what will be next, because that's the whole key to this story. This has been the best build. This has been the most highly anticipated match of the show, if we're being honest. So it's okay. What's now? What happens next? No holds barred? A 3-way? You go to Punk and Seth? I don't know. To me, it seemed like it was Punk and Seth, and then it went back to Drew and Punk when Drew took the bracelet off, put the bracelet back on. So it makes me think we're going to get one more. I don't know if you do that in Berlin in 4 weeks. You could wait. Wouldn't be the worst idea. But there's a litany of different ways you can go here. And I'm just here for the ride. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. But CM Punk in a shocker loses to Drew McIntyre. Color me purple. I'm at a loss for words. I didn't think this was the route they were going to go. But hey, I want to see what's next. Exactly. I feel like we're at like chapter 2, chapter 3. Or if we want to play baseball, we're in like the top of the 3rd. But a good SummerSlam so far. Nia Jax is the new WWE Women's World Champion. Beat Bayley flat match until really Bayley powerbombed her off the turnbuckle, and then we got Nia just bulldozing her, and then Tiffany Stratton failing to cash in. Then acts like she's Nia's best friend, and she does not cash in the women's Money in the Bank. But we still got Gunther, Damian Priest going on right now, World Heavyweight title, and then the main event, Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa, Bloodline rules for the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. We will do a review of the main event. We're not going to do it. We'll do a short recap of the World Heavyweight title match. We'll do that during that. But don't forget, I am Steven Muehlhausen, combat sports journalist previously from DAZN Sporting News, Yahoo Sports, and Bleacher Report. Do not forget, subscribe to the channel. like the video, give it the old thumbs up. This will be published in a few short minutes, and then we will have a recap, a review of the main event. Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa, the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion. Will we see the return of Roman Reigns? Will we see the return of Jimmy Uso? Will we see the return of the final boss, the Brahma Bull, the great Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. This is Steven Muehlhausen. I will see you probably in about 90 minutes. Mwah. Peace. I'm out of here.